Hi everyone and welcome to this Ask the Expert video. Today I am joined by Chris Chinnock, who is Executive Director of the 8K Association. Hi Chris.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Chris is going to tell us about the 8K ecosystem, a topic I think quite a lot of us are pretty excited about. So, Chris, just before we get started on the technical questions, can you just tell us a few words about the 8K Association, please?
Sure, no problem. So the 8K Association was formed about 2 years ago, and we've grown to 30 plus members or so today. And we have a few missions. One is to educate the professional 8K ecosystem, and that's content creation through distribution about the advancements that are happening in 8K. And frankly, part of that mission is to kind of reduce the fear of adopting 8K. A lot of pioneers are out there showing that it's not as difficult as some may think. So there's education and evangelizing the professional community. We also want to focus on the consumer market where 8K TVs are out there today. And for that aspect, we have a certification program for 8K TVs that set performance and interface standards that TVs have to make in order to display the certified logo. So that hopefully gives consumers some comfort level if they can buy a 8K TV that will perform at high quality standards. Perhaps the third mission here is to support our members. So we are getting 8K content that our members can use in their various development activities and promotional activities. And we're also working to see if we can use this content with some of the standards organizations and other organizations, again, to help promote the development of the 8K ecosystem and reduce some of the barriers and address some of the challenges.
Okay, that's great. And I've noticed some organizations are starting to produce in 8K. Well, what's the benefits of using 8K for live applications?
Yeah, so let's talk about that. Live and offline or file-based workflows and have different benefits. In the live environment, there's clearly a desire to do that. The Olympics, which was supposed to be broadcast in 8K by NHK, obviously has been postponed. But they've been broadcasting since December 2018. So they clearly want to move to this next generation technology. And remember, it's the advantage of 8K is not just more pixels. Almost all the 8K content is also high dynamic range as well. So you're getting a lot more picture quality than just resolution. But in a live environment, there are several applications that show some benefits. One, if you want to have archive value, like sporting event, high-profile sporting events, you want to capture that in the highest quality that you can. We recognize that delivering it to consumers today is difficult, but archiving it in 8K is clearly a benefit for longevity of these of the content, and that applies to film and movies as well, of course. And there's also this ability to potentially replace a number of cameras with a single 8K camera. So there's already has been shown that you can mount an 8K camera, let's say high above a playing field or a playing pitch, and you can now have tracked 2K or 4K, multiple tracked 2K or 4K cutouts that can be software defined to follow a player, to follow the ball, and those can be direct to air. So again, that can potentially eliminate camera positions, or you can use the extreme zoom capabilities now to really try and find things that you may have missed with other cameras.
And would you say the advantages are the same as well for offline production?
That's a little different. If you're going to finish it in 8K and distribute it in 8K, then it's all this higher quality that you get from those benefits of more resolution, high dynamic range, and wide color gamut, etc. If you're planning to finish in, let's say, 4K, then you've got this ability to kind of you've got a bigger canvas that you can crop from. So you can move it around, you can pan and scan. You've got more flexibility to create it. And it's clearly been shown that if you capture at higher resolutions and then finish at lower resolutions, you get a much better image than you do if you capture, let's say, native 4K and finish it native 4K. And plus the archive value, of course.
Mm. And if I'm a broadcaster or a content provider, how am I going to get my 8K programs to the audience?
Well, that is a challenge. There's no doubt. So it's, what is it, 6, 7, 8 years into the 4K transition here, and we still don't have a lot of broadcast 4K. So it will take time to get broadcast to 8K. But the environment today is also quite different than it was even 2 or 3 years ago. We're seeing a lot more activity to move content to the cloud. So cloud-based processing is happening much more rapidly than people thought, cloud-based distribution. I think we're seeing a bigger acceleration of the broadcasters going from the traditional linear broadcast and distribution models to cloud-based models. DVB-I, the Internet Initiative, has just been announced, which allows broadcasters to do both. So I think all these things are going to accelerate the transition to IP-based delivery, and that's a perfect fit for 8K.
Yeah, that's really encouraging. So what kind of tools and products are available for creatives who want to make 8K programs? Are there the vision mixers, the graphics tools, and all the things you need?
There are. Since NHK has pioneered this, they work with their mostly Japanese suppliers to develop that whole ecosystem a number of years ago. And as I said earlier, they've been broadcasting for 2 years now. So yeah, the equipment's there. We're seeing more vendors getting into it. They're adding, a piece or two of 8K equipment every quarter or so. So we clearly have a lot of cameras, probably less variety in the production equipment, but we're also got plenty of TVs out there now too. So yeah, it's not for lack of equipment. I think it's more business models, and we need some codec development as well.
Oh, that's really interesting. So, if anybody wants to find out more, they can contact you through the website of the 8K Association.
Yes, 8kassociation.com.
Great. That is fantastic. Thanks very much, Chris. That was really interesting. And we do appreciate your time. Thank you very much.
Thank you.